Hello everyone, and welcome back to Technically Unsure, where I'm not really sure what I'm doing technically.
I'm happy just doing what I'm doing.
So I know I have been away for a while, didn't upload any new videos for a while. I went to Alaska, I went to Hawaii, had some fun. Yeah, I will try to maybe even put some photos that I took. Anyway, I've been away, but I was still checking, what's out, any new releases, any new updates, any new SoCs or anything like that. So yeah, I noticed that there is a Radxa Compute Module 5, CM5, that's out. I immediately ordered it, although I wasn't home. So finally, I'm back. I got some time. So we are going to take a look at it. And this is the box that I'm talking about. So I got everything. So I have the Radxa CM5 ioboard. So let me get rid of the box. So this is the ioboard. I got the Radxa CM5 8GB, 64GB, so 8GB RAM, 64GB eMMC version. I got the heatsink number 1, heatsink number 2, and I got the CM5 Lite 8GB 64GB version. So the difference between the CM5 and CM5 Lite is not just the weight, but also this one. CM5 comes with a Rockchip RK3588S2 SoC, which contains 4 A76 and 4 A55 processor, ARM processor, and also comes with ARM Mali G610 MP4 GPU, okay? But this one comes with Rockchip RK3582 SoC, which contains 2 A76 and 4 A55. A55, let's say, efficient cores for background processes and stuff like that, and A76 is performance cores, okay? So that's the difference between the two. And in terms of pricing, CM5, what I paid, again, that's what I paid. By the way, I bought everything. Nothing is sent to me by Radxa or anything. So CM5 8GB, 64GB eMMC version, I paid exactly $88.99. Okay, and for the CM5 Lite version, I paid $74.99, and for the IO board, I paid $25. Okay, and the heat sinks are each for $14.98, we'll call $15. Here, let me show you even on the screen. Okay, these are the prices that I paid. Okay, so that being said, let's take this out. Let's not just talk about it. Let me open the boxes. So that's the IO board. That's the CM5, not the Lite, CM5, okay? And this one is the Lite version. Does it say on it? So I don't want to mix it up. Okay, it says in the back. Yeah, so that's the regular CM5, and this is the CM5 Lite. Okay, so at least we can distinguish between the two. And heatsink, which is this one. Let me take it out all the way so you can all see it, how it arrives. Okay, so it comes with the thermal pad and a fan, which is very nice. And yeah, here is, I'm assuming we put this in here and put it on the SoC. Okay, so let me take everything out, even if we are not going to use everything. Okay, so let me get my mighty knife. Okay, and let's go with the IO board first. I just want to see, does it look like it was very cheap? Let's see what is in on it. It's 25 bucks. I know it's IO board, just contains IO stuff on it. Yeah, here you go. It looks beautiful. Very, very nice, isn't it? Okay, so here, let me grab my pen. Okay, so I got my pen. Let's go. So in here on top, we have 2 camera connections, and these both are CSI, okay? The small one in the middle and the big one on the left side. These are both camera MIPI CSI, and these 2 are DSI. LCD1, LCD0, LCD1, camera 0, camera 1, okay? DSIs, CSIs. All right, so here is where you place the actual compute module, either Lite or the regular CM5. So in here, this is the fan header. So this is what we connect this one to. So actually, okay, easy. So yeah, that's how you plug that in. And then we put this on top of the CM5. And here is the 12-volt power jack. So you can put a power connector in here. Oh, by the way, I just noticed I didn't get any power cable, power connection. I have a bunch laying around, and also USB is here, but just in case, yeah. So just so you know, it doesn't come with any of the things that I bought. So if you buy CM5, CM5 Lite, heatsink, and an IO board, no power adapter. You need to provide your own, okay? Here's the SD card slot, okay? And this is also power supply. You can connect the power supply to this as well. This is the headphone jack. This is a USB 3 OTG type C. USB-C port, and these are USB 2. So 2 USB 2 host ports, a gigabit Ethernet, a USB 3 over here, HDMI connection over there, and this is M.2 key, and this is the famous, you have seen it on all Radxa boards. This is the 40-pin colored GPIO, which I love this. So yeah, and there's also PoE header over here, and yeah, M.2 GPIO, PoE, RTC battery seat over here. We can put the RTC battery in there. That's pretty much it. Okay, now I want to go with the full power first. I don't like light stuff, so let's go with this first, non-light version. Okay, so basically once we put these all together, okay, what it means is $88, $25, and $15 for this. All these together is $128. Okay, $128 computer. That's what we are going to evaluate. So performance and everything, you have to consider the price and decide that is it worth it for the $128. If I can, okay, the other side is easier. All right, so let's take that out. Okay, and I like the packaging. Everything is in a very multiple layers of packaging. Okay, so here you go. Okay, that's the CM5, and that's the RK3588S2. That's exactly what we talked about. And yeah, here's the connection. So basically like this. Okay, let me show you. So 3 on 3. We put this on top of that, and let me see how much pressure I have to apply. I want to get all 3 before applying the pressure. There you go. Okay, relatively easy, honestly. Didn't put a lot of pressure at all, and that's it. So yeah, I put that in. So now I'm assuming this is going to cover like that, almost the whole area. So I'm going to remove this plastic, put that in there. Okay, and I am going to remove this plastic cover and put this in there. Okay, there you go. So we should be good now. I'm gonna put this CM5 Lite away for now. I want to test the full power first. Let me actually take this out as well so I can put the knife away. Okay, so let's take this one out. So this one is the light version. Oh, I don't have nails. All right, got this. There you go. Okay, I hope there is some markings on the board itself so I won't confuse. Yeah, I can identify it by the SoC. So yeah, okay, this is much smaller. Oops, I pulled off a Linus there. Okay, so here is RK3582. Yeah, that's the one. So you can identify them by that, reading what's on the SoC. Okay, so I'm gonna put it away for now. We're not gonna use that first. I just want to see how this one does first. So give me a couple of minutes. Let me power it up, bring the HDMI cable, mouse and keyboard, and a power supply, and we take it from there. I will be right back. All right, so we are back, and I placed the SD card with the Radxa provided image. Okay, so I'm gonna plug this in. Oh, immediately we see the light over here. Okay, let's see if we get anything on the screen. Oh, yep, it's booting. So I have to say, by the way, I get comments from you guys that it is the Radxa is pronounced in certain ways. So I contacted the Radxa representative. I sent them an email. I said, I'm recording videos. Some people are telling me that it's not pronounced Radxa. And they said, no, it is exactly how I was used to saying it. So Radxa, okay? That's how it is pronounced. And I explained it in one of my first videos that it is coming from a Latin word that means root or something like that, okay? Anyway, that being said, as you can see, in the power consumption is going up to like 5 watts when it's being used. Okay, and it comes with the KDE. This is exactly what they provided, and I plugged the Ethernet and I see it's already connected. By the way, the username and password is Radxa. So Radxa is the username and password. Security updates. Okay, we're gonna ignore that. We don't like security. Okay, So NeoFetch first. Okay, so Debian 11 and comes with the kernel 5.10, very common in these rock chips. And the packages and the shell bash KDE5. Yeah, CPU is 1.8 gigahertz. So first things first, we always love doing that. First, let's do a quick sysbench and see where it goes. CPU and run. Okay, and as you can see, pay attention. When I'm using all the CPU, it goes to 5.8. So I think it's fair to say that 5.8 is like the highest that it can go, at least for now. So anyway, oh wow, we are getting 14,000. Really? How? In Raspberry Pi 5, we are getting 10,400, 500, doesn't matter, 10,000, it's 14,000. Okay, let's make sure it's the same in the Stress NG. Okay, it went up to 8 watts. Sorry, I take that back. So I think the sysbench wasn't really pushing it so hard. So now we are at 8 watts. And let's see what the Stress NG is doing. 8 watts, 8.1 watts. Okay, so we're done. And wow, 12,064. I think Raspberry Pi 5 was 876, something like that. So it is definitely faster than Raspberry Pi 5. Wow, that's very impressive. Honestly, that's very impressive. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to make sure that works properly is the iPerf. So iPerf 3, P50, bidirectional 1. Obviously, that also works very well. So that's a gigabit Ethernet. And as far as I know, I don't think it comes with any sort of Wi-Fi. Not the SoC, not the I/O board, but let's see, is there any? Yeah, no, there is no Wi-Fi adapter. So it is impressive. And yeah, I'm speechless. This is really faster than a Raspberry Pi 5. And it's 128 bucks. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, this is the non-light version. If we try some graphics, let's go to, again, I always say, I go with the vendor provided stuff. If I have to fix and patch and do stuff like that, we can try, but it's always easier if, you know, everything just works. Okay, I don't know. Let's say unsure. Yeah, it's better if the OS provided by the vendor actually works and does have all the drivers that really matter. So I'm gonna go blindly just to YouTube and just say 4K. It could be Chrome, is not really related to, you know, the board. Okay, here is my favorite video. All right, 60 FPS HDR. Yeah, there you go. Let's go to 4K all the way and enable stats for nerds. Okay, let's see if we're dropping any. Wow. Okay, I jinxed it. All right, it's dropping some frames. Oh, it's 128 by 720 is the viewport. Okay, but we are still at the 4K. It's dropping. I get it. It's dropping, and it's 5 watts, 7.4 watts, 7.4. Okay, hold on. Let me just do a very quick install the P sensor. All right, so I have P sensor up just to make sure that it's not doing any crazy thermal stuff. So yeah, it's within the range, and yeah, it's dropping some frames in the 4K. If we go down a bit, if we go down to 1440, let's see if that makes it better. Let's see. It's dropping less frames, let's just say. I was not expecting this, to be honest. This SoC is very, very capable. I'm assuming this is related to something related to the drivers and so on. Anyway, yeah, it's dropping frames on the 1440p as well, and on 1080p and 60 frames per second. Let's see what it does. Well, it's dropping as well. I think it's related to the codecs and drivers. So let me see what we got in here. I'm going to close this. Okay, let's try the GL mark and let's see if that makes any difference. So I see ARM, Mali, LODX, OpenGL, ES 3.2. So that looks in order. Yeah, we're getting 479. So everything looks to be in order. By the way, I'm touching it. It's not hot at all, and that's why the fan is not coming on. And I checked the cable and the wiring. It's all correct. The positive should be on the right side and the negative on the left side. So it's all correctly wired, everything is correct, but it's just the fan doesn't turn on because it doesn't need to. It's cool, it's as is. So let this GL Mark II finish and then we take it from there. Okay, so it's finished and GLmark's score is very underwhelming. Seems like it is something related to drivers. I searched for it. There are some for obviously Mali drivers and FFmpeg and other stuff for Rockchip, but I didn't find one specifically for this, so I'm gonna ignore that. I'm not gonna install that. But yeah, it's not working that great. I'm sure it's 100% related to the drivers. In the support forum, you will see in the Radxa forums, people are working on these things and they share how they were able to install certain drivers and get it to work better. Anyway, I'm just going to try to install maybe FFmpeg. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we don't have a special FFmpeg in here. Okay, so if we go to Radxa user and the downloads, and if we do an FF play on LG Greece, this is a 4K footage, so yeah, it is stuttering. So it's not just a Chromium issue, it's dropping frames. Not that bad, honestly. It's much better than Chromium. It's playing on full screen and it's doing great. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's dropping some frames here and there, but it's still much better than I expected, okay? So that's on the 4K video playback and stuff like that. Another thing that I always do is checking the documentation and GPIO pins, right? So, okay, we're done with the sensor and temperature stuff, so let's see. And we have to say Radxa CM5 ioboard GPIO, and let's see what we get. Ioboard, the first one is there. GPIO, no. Okay, let's go to the second link. Okay, that's what I wanted. Usually they do a great job on these things. Radxa, I respect them on these things. So let's try it out actually. Let me bring out my mighty multimeter. Okay, it seems like I forgot it on. So hold on a second. Okay, so what we are going to do is I'm just going to choose a random pin, which is, let's go with this one. Okay, so 11. So this is on the yellow side. We have to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we put that in, and next to it is actually the ground pin, and as you can see, it is already 0. Okay, do you see it on there? Yeah, here you go. Okay, it's 0. Now let's see if the sysfs stuff is working. So what was it? It was 134. Okay, so what we are going to do is echo 134, right? 134. Yeah, 134 to sys class GPIO export. So we're going to export that and then echo the direction to be out on the sys class GPIO 130 something. Yeah, and direction. Okay, and then we are going to echo 1 to sys class GPIO 134 value. There you go. Okay, you can see here it's 3.2. Sorry. Now if I echo 0 to this. Okay, 0. There you go. Okay, that's what I like to see on every single SPC, but unfortunately, I'm not seeing that. So, okay, GPIO is working. Everything else that I tested so far is exactly what I was expecting. The GPU driver is underwhelming. That's okay. I've seen it on all the Rockchip stuff. People find a workaround around it. You install the Mali drivers and this and that. You get it somehow working up to a point, but this is out of box on the OS image provided by Radxa. So far, that's all I got to work as is. So I'm wondering if we can use this one as well for SSD. I didn't actually check. Let me check and see if we can install an SSD and if I have one laying around, and we can test that out as well. Let me remove the tape. All right, give me a couple minutes. Let me figure this out. I'll be right back.
1 million zillion jillion dillion cotillion times later.
Okay, we are back and I have to report very quickly and then move on. Okay, so this one is for wireless module, and I had the Radxa wireless module. I inserted, and as you can see, it detected the wireless card and it detected the wireless in my house. Okay, so that's all working. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to shut this down and then try the CM5 Lite. So give me a couple of seconds. I'm gonna switch this out. I already have the Lite version ready to go. I am just going to insert this and try it out. All right, I plugged it back in. I'm gonna leave everything as is, even the operating system image. Hopefully that will work. From what I see on their website, it's compatible. Let's see if it works. Oh, okay, we're seeing some stuff on the screen at least. Okay, so far so good. Yep, it's cross-compatible, as I said. Oh, wow, that was fast. Okay, so everything is working on the Lite version as well, and seems like so far the Ethernet is working, wireless is working, and yeah, let's see how is everything else. So GPIO I'm not going to test because that's the functionality of the IO board, not the compute module. So very quickly we do a new fetch. Yep, that's the new one. There's a less CPU cores, as you can see. So if we do a sysbench very quickly and say proc CPU run, okay. Okay, so we are getting 9,000, a little bit less than a Raspberry Pi 5, okay? And if we do stress ng, okay, also pay attention to the power consumption. So this is less, obviously, than the other one. And it caps at 6. That one was going to 8 point something, right? This caps at 8. Let's fast forward. Okay, so in this we are getting 837.34, and as I said, the Raspberry Pi is 876 or something like that, so it's very close to this Raspberry Pi 5. Okay, so yeah, we covered everything. The IO stuff I'm not gonna test, as I said. Those are the capabilities and the board itself, and yeah, seems like everything is working on this one as well. So for a $10 or so more, you get something that's much more powerful than a Raspberry Pi 5. Okay, in terms of computing, obviously Raspberry Pi 5 has a lot of other capabilities. The FPC cable, you can add a lot of components to it. This one does not seem to have that from what I gather, but it's very low power consumption and the fan doesn't even turn on when we are using it for a while. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's definitely a great board and very capable. Personally, honestly, I like this one more. As I said, I don't like the light stuff. So this is very capable, very powerful, much faster. Yeah, I will be using this mainly. This definitely can run a bunch of home servers with no trouble at all. So thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions down below. I will try to test and let you know. From what I gathered, that's the only OS image. They might be, and I think they will be releasing more operating system images, maybe even Android image, I don't know. But yeah, so far I tested everything that's out there and everything is working fine. The non-light version is very, very impressive. Okay, thanks for watching, and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.